in the name of the greatest people that have ever trod this earth, I draw the line in the dust and toss the gauntlet before the feet of tyranny, and I say segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever.
Yikes. Governor Wallace, no. You can't do whatever you want in those states, just like you can't do whatever you want on these campuses coast to coast. All this anti-Semitism, this is what we need, a good and just Department of Justice. The Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights right now at the U.S. Department of Justice is Harmeet Dhillon. Welcome back. Really glad you're on the job. And, well, how's it going so far? You have a lot on your plate, but it seems like you guys are winning.
Well, thank you, Greg, for having me. It's absolutely a target-rich environment that we're dealing with at the Civil Rights Division, and I'm proud to say that some have called us the most activist Civil Rights Division of a Republican administration in history. In less than 4 months, we've managed to take on the most entrenched DEI and anti-Semitism at America's top institutions. We've gone after California and other states for forcing girls to compete with boys in girls' sports. And we're going after this type of discrimination in federal government contractors and really everywhere we find it, and getting into the Voting Rights Act as well. You're seeing that play out in Texas today. That whole Texas drama was kicked off by an analysis done by my office and a letter signed by me indicating that Texas still had vestiges of illegal racial discrimination in its gerrymandered districts. And now Texas is trying to fix that. And as you can see, there are some almost the modern day Dixiecrats, if you will, who will do anything in their power to avoid following federal civil rights laws. It's kind of embarrassing to see, but we are very committed to our goal.
It's so interesting. Yeah, you guys really should be portrayed as the heroes. And once upon a time, I mean, you're kind of more in sync with the Kennedy administration. You know, these are civil rights. It's almost amusing how you have been so falsely portrayed.
Well, you're right. I mean, look, people have invested their entire careers. I mean, all these folks who fled from Texas to Illinois, comically, which is a very gerrymandered state itself, racially gerrymandered state itself, their careers are due to a system of racial spoils. And, you know, to be clear, the Civil Rights Act and all the different voting rights laws were passed to remedy past acts of discrimination in our country. But I mean way past. It's 2025 today. And this concept of using this sort of Marxist group awarding of spoils to people by group as opposed to individual merits is illegal. And the Supreme Court has struck down affirmative action plans and struck down in Students for Fair Admissions discrimination against whites and Asians in Harvard, UNC, and other schools. And that's the law of the land today. And there are still Democrats and, you know, liberals in academia and people who draw the lines and people like Jasmine Crockett who owe their seats to racist line drawing who, you know, they have a lot at stake in that system. And so it's not going to be dismantled easily. And they're quite frankly, in past administrations, have been Republicans who shy away because they don't want to be called names. We're not afraid of that in this administration. I'm not afraid of it. I'm very committed to our federal civil rights laws, and they lead to a specific conclusion. And so one by one, every day we're intaking complaints. We are analyzing facts in the law. We're taking action every day. And it is actually exhilarating to see America slowly return to the center, to a race-neutral, to a fair and equal opportunity system. That is what the founders envisioned, and that is frankly what the writers and drafters of the Civil Rights Acts also envisioned.
Yeah, like you've been so unfairly, and I love the work that you're doing, but hey, is this man, the Texas House Speaker, on solid legal ground here? I mean, it may not be for you to adjudicate, but it's interesting. C05, please.
Being 85 ayes and 6 nays, the motion prevails. The Sergeant-at-Arms and any officers appointed by her are directed to send for all absentees whose attendance is not excused for the purposes of securing and maintaining their attendance under warrant of arrest, if necessary, until further order of the House.
All right, talking pretty fast there, but possible arrest warrants. These lawmakers are all over the country, especially Illinois and here in New York. Would you, the federal government, assist in returning these folks?
Well, this is really the application of state law, so I don't think there's a role for the federal government here, but there was a stunt of a similar nature, I think about 3 years ago, and that's when Texas Attorney General got a legal opinion about this very fact pattern. And so they're relying, I believe, on solid legal analysis that says that under Texas law, this is something that they can do. And there are over 50 Democrats who are on the lam. They're on the run from their jobs and their duties and their sworn duties and holding up government. I mean, this is literally, you played that clip at the beginning of the segment. Democrats went to tremendous lengths during the Brown v. Board of Education era, during the opening acts of the civil rights movement, to prevent African Americans from getting their equal access to all aspects of society. And you're literally seeing the same attitude today. It's a different racial composition, but the same attitude, the same lawlessness and disrespect for the rule of law and for our federal and our state laws is playing out in front of our eyes in real time today. And I, for one, as a citizen, am happy to see that there are lawmakers and law enforcement officials who are willing to stand up for the rule of law. They don't care about the name calling. They don't care about the dumb memes you're seeing online from certain politicians. They're simply trying to make sure that when Texas has its lines drawn, they are according to federal law involving federal elections. It's pretty simple. The United States Supreme Court said so, and that's the law of the land. And so we're just following that, and I'm glad to see Texas enforcing that law.
Have you, has this been corrected? The universities are paying a lot of money in penalties and settlements, and more, we understand, are on their way. Are you seeing a major correction in the behavior, and is it a deterrent effect, right? Other schools don't want to be in this kind of trouble, so hopefully they will protect Jewish students.
Absolutely. And by the way, it's not just the Jewish issue. It is an important issue, but the DEI issues and the Title IX issues, the boys and girls sports and the forcible violation of girls' privacy rights, all of these issues are being addressed in these different settlements agreements. Each of these schools is different. We've engaged in some fact-finding in some of these schools, but you're absolutely correct, Greg, that we are in let's make a deal mode. I mean, my phone is ringing off the hook all hours of the day and night from university chancellors and deans and provosts and administrators and their lawyers seeking to have a meeting with the Department of Justice and come to an agreement with the DOJ and the White House over these issues. And so different dollar amounts are being thrown around. Some schools are very heavily invested in federal aid, some less so, but they're all required, if they take any federal money, to follow federal law. And so we're dismantling these things one by one. And I'm hoping that after we get through a few of these deals, there will be a self-correction in the market. And it's just like with the voting issue and the other issues we've seen. People have made their entire careers based on these racial spoils and these categories of diversity, equity, inclusion, which is really just veiled discrimination by a different name. It's discrimination in drag, and it's illegal. And so it's going to take a lot of effort for us to unwind that. But with decisive action and a firm line from the United States, making sure that we're not sending our federal hard-earned tax dollars that you and I pay to the federal government to people who are violating federal law, I think that over a period of time, we are going to see a permanent change in that behavior. But we have to hold the line, and we have to have political accountability as well. And so it's really important that the folks who are setting these policies into motion have enough time to do that.
Harmeet Dhillon, the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights at the DOJ, we thank you very, very much, and to be continued.
Thank you.
You bet. We'll be right back.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.